Well, hello guys, I'm back again with another video, and I know it's been a while, but I am here again with my movie review of Murder of the Orient Express. Now, if you don't know what this movie is about, then it's basically someone died on a train, and then the world's greatest detective has to solve the case. That's basically what the movie's about. I'm not going to even read the synopsis because it's the same thing I just said to you. Now, I kind of want to go into the story a little bit. The story was kind of interesting, and it was kind of confusing. I had really a hard time trying to digest this movie. Maybe you had to see this movie more than once to kind of get it. But I really thought that the story really didn't start to get unfolded and start connected really organically until probably halfway through the film, probably in the half an hour, half 1 hour 40-minute mark. That's when the story finally started to make a lot of sense. We get the introduction of the detective whose name I cannot pronounce right, so I'm just going to just say, hey, the detective. We get the introduction to him, and we find out what he's all about, blah blah blah, and then we run into Daisy Ridley's character, and we get also introduced to the doctor. And that's basically how the story comes, how some of the points meet up with each other. And it kind of felt rushed a little bit, but it kind of, well, I'm thinking about it. Well, it had to get to a point where you just go straight in, you know. I, you know, Seeing this movie, I thought they were just going to jump right into the train where they're already in the train and then the murder happens. That's what I really thought that the movie was going to go, but it didn't. And it did it in a little better way. It kind of flushed out some of the characters earlier before they go to the train, which I kind of like that. But, the story is really, it's a movie that you probably have to watch more than once for this story. You can kind of get it when you're seeing this, but you probably might have to just watch this movie multiple times. And then, you have, in the story, you have Johnny Depp's character who he plays a gangster. And I'm not going to get really, you know what, the movie's already out. Fuck it. He plays, some characters play a bigger part in the story than you might have thought they didn't play. And Johnny Depp kind of played he had a little small part, but it played to the whole entire story, if you know what I mean, if you saw the movie. And I thought that was done pretty well, and it was kind of really it was tricky, and I think that's what the screenwriters worked with by using that. And I think that it played to a lot of points where, some instances where Hercule thought he had the murderer, but he technically really didn't have the murderer. He was close to getting the murderer, but he didn't get the murderer. It was kind of interesting with that. And, it was like, oh, okay, I could see that. But then they kept doing it more than once. After they did it the third time, I honestly felt like this was starting to get really pushover. And I'm like, okay, come on with this. You could, all right. We're getting to a point where I'm just getting annoyed right now. But, we haven't had a movie like this in a while. So, I was just like, okay, whatever. The acting in this movie was really good. I was really skeptical of Daisy Ridley because I know we saw her in Star Wars, as Rey, but, we haven't seen nothing from her after that. So it was interesting to really see what she was capable of doing. And, she was fucking great in this movie. Yeah, I really enjoyed her a lot. It's going to take a little bit more time for me to get her out of my head as Rey. But, after that, she was good. She was great in this movie. I also thought, I don't know who the this is really coming to me right now. I really thought that Josh Gad was really fucking good in this movie. I thought he probably had the breakout performance in this movie. Because I'm not really a big fan of Josh Gad, not really. I think he's okay in a lot of stuff, but I was just like, wow, I kind of actually liked him in this movie. This is, really interesting to see him play this character and how this character was and his mannerisms and how he behaved in this movie. And it was really, really good to me. He also had Penelope Cruz, who I thought was just a throwaway. The dude who played the doctor was a throwaway. William Dafoe was just okay. Man, I'm just forgetting names right now, but we got, who was the other person in this thing? Oh, Johnny Depp was just Johnny Depp. You know, what more can you ask from Johnny Depp? You got also Kenneth Branagh, Kenneth Branagh, sorry, who is the director of this movie. He was great. I thought he was fine. You know, Judi Dench. She's great in everything she's fucking in. Michelle Pfeiffer was great. I'm going to go into my final remarks about this film. And what I'm going to say is that this film is a really solid film. I would recommend people seeing this in theaters. It's fun, it's enjoyable. It's a burden a little bit at times. It's slow. Sometimes, you know, watching it, parts of the film you just wanted to get it over with. But after that, and some dialogue issues and some pacing issues, and you know, it's still a solid film to watch. And it's fun to see a lot of stuff that plays out and some of the plot twists that happens. It was enjoyable, and I think people will. I think people will enjoy this movie. And a matter of fact, you know, looking at the box office, it did pretty well. And hopefully, we can see a sequel from this film. And I want to give Murder in the Orient Express a good 7.5 out of 10. Well, that's it for me. My name is Jay Maz, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up and leave a comment below if you have seen this movie, because I'm really interested in you guys' opinion about this film. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you thought it was okay? Let me know in the comments below. Well, I'm out. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.